Welcome to Italy. Italy, a country of art, taste and eternal beauty. Italy is a country in southern Europe located on the Apennine Peninsula, which is shaped like a boot. Its official name is the Republic of Italy, and it covers an area of about 340 square kilometers, bordering France, Switzerland, Austria, and Slovenia to the north, and is washed by the Mediterranean Sea, the Tyrrhenian, Ionian, and Adriatic, to the south, east, and west. Italy includes the islands of Sicily and Sardinia, as well as smaller islands such as Capri and Elba, which give it geographical and tourist diversity. Italy is the country that once became the center of European civilization, as it was the birthplace of the Roman Empire, which influenced the development of law, architecture, and culture around the world. Italy is famous for its mild climate, which varies from alpine in the north to subtropical in the south, and for its diverse landscapes, from the snow-capped Alps to the sunny beaches of the Amalfi Coast, from the hills of Tuscany to the volcanic craters of Mount Aetna and Vesuvius. The population of the country is about 60 million people, and the capital, Rome, is not only a political center but also a great city that attracts millions of tourists with its history and beauty. Italy is a country where each region has its own unique character, from industrial Milan to romantic Venice, from sophisticated Florence to colorful Naples. Italian culture, art, music and gastronomy. Italian culture is a treasure trove that has been shaped over the centuries by the Etruscans, Greeks, Romans, and later the Renaissance, which gave the world unsurpassed masterpieces. Italy is the birthplace of such geniuses as Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, Raphael, and Caravaggio, whose paintings and sculptures adorn museums around the world. The Uffizi Gallery in Florence with Botticelli's Birth of Venus or the Sistine Chapel in the Vatican with Michelangelo's frescoes are just a part of the cultural heritage that makes Italy a center of world art. Music is another pride of Italy. Opera was born here, an art form made famous by composers Giuseppe Verdi Aida, La Traviata and Giacomo Puccini Tosca, La Bohème. The annual Verona Opera Festival, held in the ancient Roman amphitheater Arena di Verona, attracts music lovers from all over the world. Modern Italian music also has its own charm, from classical songs by Adriano Celentano to pop hits by Eros Ramazzotti. The literature of Italy gave the world Dante Alighieri, whose work The Divine Comedy became the basis of the modern Italian language and a masterpiece of world poetry. Later, Petrarch and Boccaccio laid the foundations of humanism, and contemporary authors such as Umberto Eco The Name of the Rose continue the tradition of intellectual prose. Gastronomy is the soul of Italian culture. Italian cuisine is known all over the world for its simplicity and taste. Pizza, originating in Naples, with its thin dough and tomato sauce, has become a global phenomenon. Pasta, from spaghetti to lasagna, is the basis of many dishes, often served with pesto, bolognese or Carrara sauces. Tiramisu, a delicate dessert made with mascarpone, coffee and cocoa, and gelato, an Italian ice cream, round out the meal. Wine is an integral part. The regions of Tuscany Chianti, Piedmont Barolo and Veneto Prosecco are famous for their vineyards. Italians love long dinners with their families, and coffee, espresso or cappuccino, is a daily ritual. Fashion is another aspect of the culture. Milan, the world's fashion capital, is home to Gucci, Prada, Versace, and Armani, and annual fashion weeks attract designers and celebrities. Beautiful and interesting places in Italy, from natural wonders to architectural masterpieces. Italy is a country where each region offers unique landscapes, historical monuments, and a mesmerizing atmosphere. The diversity is impressive, from the snow-capped Alps to sunny islands, from medieval towns to majestic metropolitan areas. Here's a detailed overview of the most prominent and picturesque places in Italy that have made it one of the most attractive countries for travelers. Rome, the Eternal City. Rome is the heart of Italy, where antiquity is intertwined with modernity. The Colosseum, built in 70 to 80 AD, is a majestic amphitheater that can accommodate up to 50,000 spectators during gladiatorial fights and wild animal shows. Its arches and dilapidated walls are impressive in scale and remind us of the glory of the Roman Empire. Nearby is the Roman Forum, the center of political, religious and social life, where the ruins of the Temple of Saturn, the Arch of Titus and the Basilica of Maxentius have been preserved. The Pantheon, a temple of all the gods with a perfect dome and an oculus opening, is a masterpiece of engineering that still expresses their harmony. The Trevi Fountain, surrounded by Baroque sculptures, attracts tourists with the tradition of tossing a coin to declare to Rome. Piazza della Spagna, with its famous staircase and views of the city, is an ideal place for walking, and the Vatican with St. Peter's Basilica and the Sistine Chapel is a spiritual and cultural center. Venice, a pearl on the water. Venice, built on 118 islands in the Adriatic Sea lagoon, is a fairy tale city where instead of roads there are canals and instead of cars there are gondolas and big Piazza San Marco, called the Welcoming Europe by Napoleon, expresses the Basilica of San Marco with its golden mosaics and the Campanile Bell Tower, which offers a panoramic view of the city. The Rialto Bridge, the oldest bridge over the Grand Canal, surrounded by shops and lively markets, is a symbol of Venetian commerce. The Doge's Palace, the residence of the rulers of the Republic of Venice, surprises with its Gothic halls and the Bridge of Sighs leading to the prison. The islands of Murano, famous for its glass, and Burano, with its colorful houses, give Venice its charm. The annual carnival with masks and costumes turns the city into a medieval theater stage. Florence, the cradle of the Renaissance. Florence, the capital of Tuscany, is the city where the Renaissance was born. The Cathedral of Santa Maria del Fiore, with its majestic Brunelleschi dome and Giotto's bell tower, is an architectural masterpiece lined with white, green and pink marble. The Ponte Vecchio Bridge, the only bridge that survived the Second World War, is lined with jewelry stores and surrounded by the waters of the Arno River. Piazza della Signoria, with the Vecchio Palace and a copy of Michelangelo's David, is the center of city life. The Uffizi Gallery houses Botticelli's The Birth of Venus and the Spring, and the Accademia houses the original David. The hills around Florence, such as the Fiesole, offer panoramic views of the city in vineyards. Amalfi Coast, a paradise above the sea. The UNESCO-listed Amalfi Coast in southern Italy is a 50-kilometer stretch of picturesque coastline with steep cliffs, turquoise sea, and colorful towns. Positano, with its houses cascading down to the sea, impresses with its pastel colors and narrow streets that smell like lemons. Amalfi, once a maritime republic, has St. Andrew's Cathedral with Arab Norman architecture. Ravello, located higher above the sea, is famous for the gardens of Villa Simbrone and Villa Ruffalo with panoramic views. Caves, such as the Emerald Grotto, and beaches make the coast ideal for a romantic getaway. Tuscany, hills, wine and the Middle Ages. Tuscany is a region of green hills, cypress trees, and vineyards. Siena, with its Piazza del Campo, where the Palio horse race is held twice a year, impresses with its Gothic cathedral and medieval atmosphere. San Gimignano, known as the City of Towers, has preserved 14 medieval towers that rise above the hills. Pisa is famous for the Leaning Tower in the Square of Miracles, which is part of a complex with a cathedral and a baptistry. Chianti's wine roads lead through villages and estates where you can taste wine and olive oil. Sicily, an island of volcanoes and cultures. Sicily is the largest island in Italy, where Greek, Roman, Arab and Norman heritage are mixed. Mount Aetna, the most active volcano in Europe, attracts tourists with its craters and lava fields, and the sea is visible from its summit. Taormina is a resort with a Greek theater overlooking Mount Aetna and the beaches of Isola Bella. The Valley of the Temples in Agrigento is a complex of Greek temples dating back to the 5th century BC, such as the Temple of Concordia, which is strikingly preserved. Palermo with its cathedral and Norman palace is in the Arab Norman style with Baroque churches. Milan, fashion and grandeur. Milan is the industrial and fashion center of Italy. Milan Cathedral Duomo is a Gothic pearl with thousands of spires and statues overlooking the Alps. Galleria Vittorio Emanuele II is a luxurious shopping arcade with a glass roof. La Scala Theatre is a legendary opera house where Verdi and Puccini performed. Leonardo da Vinci's Last Night in the Monastery of Santa Maria del Grazie is a masterpiece of art. Lake Como, the Pearl of the Alps. Surrounded by the Alps, Lake Como is a place of magnificent villas and picturesque villages. Bellagio, the Pearl of the Lake, impresses with the gardens of Villa Melzi and narrow streets. Como, with its cathedral and funicular, offers views from the mountain. The lake is popular with celebrities for its tranquility and beauty. Italian traditions. Italian traditions are family values, holidays and love of life. The carnival in Venice with masks and costumes is an explosion of imagination that dates back to the Middle Ages. Ferragosto August 15th is a summer holiday with picnics and fireworks, when Italians relax at sea or in the mountains. Christmas is a time for family dinners with panettone sweet bread with raisins and gifts from the good witch, Befani, who arrives on January 6th. Food is a ritual. Italians gather at the table for several hours, where they serve several dishes, antipasti appetizers, main course pasta or risotto, second course meat or fish, and dessert. Aperitivo is a tradition of drinking a glass of wine or cocktail, e.g., Aperol spritz with light snacks before the evening, and is popular in cities. Football is a national passion. Juventus, Milan, and Inter have millions of fans, and Serie A matches are a real treat. The tradition of passeggiata, an evening stroll through the city center in beautiful clothes, demonstrates the Italian love of socializing and aesthetics. Historic sites in Italy, a journey through the centuries. Italy is a country where history lives in every stone, every ruin, and every building. As the birthplace of the Roman Empire, the cradle of the Renaissance, and the center of medieval republics, it has preserved unique monuments that tell the story of its majestic past. From ancient amphitheaters to Renaissance palaces, these sites are not only tourist attractions but also witnesses to events that shaped Europe and the world. Here's a detailed overview of Italy's most important historical sites. The Colosseum in Rome. The Colosseum, or Amphitheater of the Flavians, is a symbol of the Roman Empire's power, built between 70 and 80 AD by order of Emperor Vespasian. This huge oval amphitheater, which could accommodate up to 50,000 spectators, was an arena for gladiatorial fights, naval battles, mercenary battles and public executions. Its four-tiered structure, arches, and underground tunnels hypogei, where animals and slaves were kept, demonstrate the engineering skills of the Romans. Despite being damaged by earthquakes and looted in the Middle Ages, the Colosseum has retained its size, becoming one of the new wonders of the world and a UNESCO site. Next to it stands the Arch of Constantine, built in 315 in honor of the victory of Emperor Constantine, decorated with reliefs from other monuments. The Roman Forum. The Roman Forum, located in the center of Rome between the Palatine and Capitoline hills, was the heart of the political, religious, and social life of the ancient city. This complex, which began to take shape in the 7th century BC, includes ruined temples, a basilica, and an arch. The Temple of Saturn 497 BC served as a treasury, the Basilica of Maxentius and Constantine was impressive in size, and the Arch of Titus 81 BC immortalized the victory over Jerusalem with menorah reliefs. The Forum was a place of Cicero's speeches, military triumphs, and trials. Today, it is an archaeological park where visitors can walk along the Via Sacra, the sacred road used by the Roman legions. Pompeii and Herculaneum. Pompeii, an ancient city near Naples, was destroyed by the eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 79 AD, when ash and lava buried it under a layer of many meters. Thanks to this catastrophic preservation, Pompeii has become a unique window into Roman life, houses with frescoes, baths, theaters, an amphitheater, and even taverns have remained almost intact. The Villa of the Mysteries with frescoes of rituals and the Pompeii Forum with temples are striking in their details. Not far away is Herculaneum, smaller in size but better preserved thanks to mud flows that have protected wooden structures and mosaics. Both cities are listed as UNESCO sites, and it is impossible to refuse to feel the atmosphere of the 1st century. The Valley of the Temples in Sicily. The Temple Valley in Agrigento is one of the finest examples of ancient Greek architecture outside of Greece, dating from the 5th century BC. The complex includes several subsidiary temples, of which the Temple of Concordia stands out for its preservation. In the Middle Ages it was returned to a church, which saved it from destruction. The Temple of Hera and the Temple of Hercules are partially destroyed, but their columns still stand against the backdrop of the Sicilian hills. This UNESCO-listed archaeological park is honed by almond trees that bloom in spring, adding to the landscape's charm. The Valley of the Contests is about the great Greek colony of Acragas, which was one of the richest cities of antiquity. Doge's Palace in Venice. The Doge's Palace, located in St. Mark's Square, was the residence of the ruler of the Venetian Republic from the 9th century and the center of its political power. Built in the Gothic style with elements of Byzantine and Moorish decor, it impresses with arcades, marble facades and interior halls. The Great Council Hall with frescoes by Tintoretto and Veronese could accommodate up to 2,000 people during a meeting. The Bridge of Sighs, which connects the palace to the prison, was named after the sighs of prisoners who last saw Venice from its windows. The palace symbolizes the wealth and power of Venice as a maritime empire. The Pantheon in Rome. The Pantheon, built in 126 AD by Emperor Hadrian on the site of the Temple of Marcus Agrippa, is the best preserved ancient building in Rome. Its 43.3-meter diameter dome with an oculus opening through which light penetrates is an engineering marvel, although the concrete structure has no internal supports. Raphael and the kings of Italy, including Vittorio Emanuele II, are buried inside. The Pantheon, originally dedicated to the gods, became a church in the 7th century, which saved it from destruction. Arena di Verona. The Arena di Verona, a Roman amphitheater from the 1st century AD, is one of the best preserved arenas in Italy, with a seating capacity of up to 30,000 spectators. Located in the historic center of Verona, it was used for gladiatorial battles and spectacles, and today it is a stage for opera festivals, including productions of Verdi's Aida. Its pink marble bleachers and acoustics are impressive, and its preservation allows us to reveal the grandeur of Roman entertainment. Castel del Monte in Puglia. Castel del Monte, built in the 13th century by Emperor Frederick II, is a mysterious castle in Puglia, listed on the UNESCO list. It has a unique octagonal shape with a tall tower and a symmetrical design composed of elements of Gothic, Islamic architecture and ancient traditions. The castle had no defensive levels or bridges, which gave rise to theories about its astronomical or symbolic purpose. Located on a hill among olive groves, it expresses its harmony in mystery. Rest and the sea in Italy, sun, beaches and sea adventures. Surrounded by the Mediterranean Sea with its Tyrrhenian, Ionian and Adriatic basins, Italy is one of the most popular countries for beach vacations in Europe. Thanks to its long coastline, more than 7,600 kilometers, and mild climate, which allows you to enjoy the sea from May to October, it attracts millions of tourists in search of sun, sand and seascapes. From luxurious resorts to wild beaches, from large islands to small bays, Italy offers a vacation for every taste. Here's a detailed overview of the most prominent seaside destinations and opportunities for seaside recreation. Amalfi Coast, luxury on the Tyrrhenian Sea. The Amalfi Coast in southern Italy, in the region where the company operates, is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and the pearl of the Tyrrhenian Sea. Steep cliffs descending to turquoise waters and picturesque towns such as Positano create ideal conditions for an elite vacation. The beaches here are small, often pebbly, such as Spiaggia Grande, but surrounded by picturesque landscapes and clear water, ideal for swimming and snorkeling. Amalfi offers the Marina Grande beach with walks along the promenade, while Priano offers quiet coves such as Fiordo di Furor, where you can swim in a natural pool between the rocks. Yachting, kayaking and limoncello tasting in local cafes will complement your vacation. In summer, the sea temperature reaches 25-27 C, and the season lasts until early fall. Sicily, volcanoes and the Ionian Sea. Sicily, the largest island in Italy, is washed by the Ionian, Tyrrhenian and Mediterranean seas, offering a variety of beaches and seaside activities. Taormina is a resort with the Isola Bella beach, where clear water and an island connected to the mainland by a narrow spit create a picturesque picture. San Vito lo Capo beach in the northwest is famous for its white sand and Caribbean atmosphere, ideal for families. Near Catania there are volcanic beaches with black sand from Aetna, such as Playa di Catania, where you can combine swimming with excursions to the craters. Boat trips to the Aeolian Islands, in particular to Stromboli, can see an active volcano from the sea. The water temperature is 26-28 C, and diving reveals underwater currents and sunken ships. Sardinia, the emerald waters of the Costa Smeralda. Sardinia, the second largest island in Italy, is known for its beaches on the Costa Smeralda Emerald Coast in the Tyrrhenian Sea. Porto Cervo is a luxury resort with yachts, white sand and crystal clear water on beaches such as Spiaggia del Principe. La Maddalena, an archipelago of peninsulas, impresses with wild beaches like Spiaggia Rosa, where pink sand creates a unique contrast with the sea. The Cala Luna beach with its caves and cliffs is a paradise for snorkelers and kayakers. Sardinia is ideal for sailing, and its remoteness preserves its natural beauty. The air temperature at sea reaches 25-27 C, and the season lasts until September. Riviera Liguria, Cinque Terre and Portofino. The Ligurian coast in northwestern Italy is the Tyrrhenian Sea with picturesque villages and resorts. The Cinque Terre consists of 5 colorful villages: Monterosso, Vernazza, Corniglia, Manarola, Rio Maggiore, which are clinging to the cliffs above the sea. The beaches here are small, pebbly, such as Monterosso Beach, but the water is clear, and the trails between the villages offer views and access to secluded coves. Portofino, an upscale resort, impresses with its marina, and Peraghi Beach has green waters. Liguria is ideal for boat trips and seafood tasting. The sea temperature is 24-26 C. The Adriatic coast, Rimini and the Venetian Riviera. The Adriatic Sea in the east of Italy is home to wide sandy beaches and lively resorts. Rimini is a beach vacation center with 15 kilometers of sand, umbrellas and nightclubs. The Lido San Giuliano beach is popular with families, and water sports, from windsurfing to catamarans, add to the activity. The Venetian Riviera, in particular Lido di Jesolo, offers shallow waters ideal for children and proximity to Venice for excursions. The water temperature is 24-25 C, the season is from June to September. Capri, an island of luxury. The island of Capri in the Tyrrhenian Sea near Naples is a luxury vacation destination. The Blue Grotto, a cave with luminescent water, is accessible only by boat and impresses with its magical glow. Beaches such as Marina Piccola are surrounded by cliffs and overlook the Faraglioni rocks. Capri is popular for yachting and romantic walks. The sea temperature is 26-28 C. The Puglian coast, Gargano and Salento. Puglia is washed in the south by the Adriatic and Ionian seas. Gargano is a peninsula with white cliffs and beaches, such as Baia del Zagare, surrounded by pine trees. Salento, the heel of the boot, is famous for its Pescalus beaches, the Italian Maldives with white sand and clear water. Boat trips to the grottos like Zinzalusa are an adventure. The temperature is 26-28 C. Visiting Italy means experiencing its versatility, strolling along the canals of Venice, tasting tiramisu in Florence, swimming in the sea near Positano, or admiring the sunset over Tuscany. This is a country where every day is a small holiday, where history comes to life in Piazza della Camera, and where nature gives peace and inspiration. Italy does not let go, it remains in the heart, calling on countries to rediscover its charm, from bustling Naples to quiet Lake Como, from ancient ruins to modern fashion boutiques in Milan. It is a place where beauty, taste and tradition merge into a harmonious melody that sounds forever. Italy is a country where art, history, and nature merge. The culture, from opera to pizza, is fascinating, the places, from Venice to Sicily, are spectacular, and the traditions are warm. Sites such as the Colosseum and Pompeii make it a timeless gem. Subscribe to the channel and like it so that you don't miss interesting virtual trips to any corner of our planet. Thank you very much for watching our channel. See you soon.